of my butt connectors. I'm putting these on, and then also I'm putting heat shrink on individual wire, but I'm not sure if this big one will cover them all up. If not, I'll cut it off and I'll just wrap it in electrical tape. So here we go. We're going to do this. First of all, I've got my heat shrink tube already on my line. I ended up having to cut this other wire. I'll just wire it back together later. But I had to get this slid on just in case it's going to work. And so I had to strip this down a little bit further as well, so my heat shrink tubes will fit. So I'm going to slide my heat shrink tube on, and then I've got a butt connector here. I really don't have anything to crimp these. I'm hoping what I do have is going to crimp it good enough. And if you hear roosters and chickens, that's my neighbors, him and all of his roosters and chickens making a racket. So, which color is this? Okay, black. Ugh, I should have peeled these back a little further too, because I'm going to have a hard time. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to strip this back a little bit further too, so I have more wire exposed. Because if not, I'm going to have such a hard time getting those to fit. So this is what I'm going to have to just peel this back as well. I'm going to see if I can just rip it. I can't. I don't have a knife. Dang it, dang it, dang it. So, let's see if I can just rip it with this. Oh, I might can. This might rip it, get it going good enough so I can get it tore apart enough right here. Because I need this to be a little bit longer for that heat shrink tube and my butt connectors. Just don't want to have a hard time trying to clamp everything together. But yeah, okay, here we go. There, I think it's going to rip back some. I want to bite it again, see if I can pull it a little further. Oh yeah, we got it pulled back now. And if my large heat shrink tube doesn't fit, I'll just wrap it real nice and tight with electrical tape. It'll be just fine. Because it'll be better than it is, because at least now it's going to work, where before it was not working. Okay, so let's get these other wires back out of the way. All of these out of the way. We're going to do black first. I'm going to get my butt connector. Oh wait, almost forgot. I'm going to put my heat shrink tube on first. Okay. Butt connector. Twist these up a little bit. I'll try to roll them right-handed, but I guess it don't matter because this is just going to clamp. Nothing's going to be twisted. And put this one in. So we got both of them in, nice and tight. And then I'm going to crimp it down. I'm going to get them in there nice and tight, really far. And I'm hoping these are going to crimp good enough for me right here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, nope. They're going to fold up on me, I think. Let's see if I can get this crimped. I'm going to have to go find something else. He might try to break it instead. Yeah, that's going to be loose. Let me go find something else. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. These should crush it nicely. I hope so anyways. If not, then I have to go find something else. I'm hoping this is going to work. Crush. And then crush. Squeeze it as tight as you can and get it as flat as you can. And then take a little tug. If it goes nice and tight, we're going to slide this on. And then we're going to get our lighter. And we're going to heat it. We're going to heat it up, and it is going to melt around the line. Just don't want to melt it too much and burn your wire. But it'll shrink right up and make a nice fit, a nice tight fit on your wire that you fixed. There it goes, nice and tight. Over here a little bit more. Yep, nice and warm. Maybe I'll shrink it up just a little more. Just a little more. Don't want to get it too hot and burn anything. We don't want to melt it. Well, it has to melt, but we don't want to burn it. Ow, hot. Let me turn it around. Get this other side. Oh, it's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Let me twist it. See if we can get this other side a little better. Get it going right there. Let it nice and melt. That's why I'm wanting this bigger one to then cover over all of these. Okay. Oh, that's hot. Okay. I might have used too big of a heat shrink tube, but I had to get over that butt connector, and I don't know if the smaller ones will fit. I might try a smaller one. Let's try a smaller one on, let's do red now. Move that out of the way. Let's do red. Okay. Let me find a butt connector. I'm going to use this blue one because this red wire was a little bit bigger. But see, it's not going to go over it. I need one a little bit bigger, but not too big that won't shrink down all the way. Nope, that won't fit. Okay. Looks like it's going to be the only ones we have. Nope, not that color either. Looks like it's going to be these blue ones. Oh, wait a minute. I did get a bigger one, didn't I? I did get, oh my God. I'm not going to have any. They're going to be so big, and it probably won't melt down. Let's see, looks like a red one. Might be the next size, but it looks awful big. Well, I'm going to tape it up anyways afterwards. So, now I can't get my, there it is. Guess I'll use this red one. I don't know if it's going to melt down good enough or not. We'll see. Probably not. That wire's so small. And this butt connector is so big. But I want to clamp it like this. I don't want to just have my wires squeezed together because it might easily pull out. And I don't want them to pull out. Then we'll have to redo this all over again. I would like them to all be in there nice and tight. But once I get these clamped on and do the heat shrink tube on it, I'll just cover it with electrical tape and make the electrical tape super tight, and that way nothing to move. So let's clamp this as tight as I can and then pull it and make sure it don't pull loose. Yeah, that looks like that clamped pretty tight right there. Pretty tight right there. Nice and snug. Now, let's see if this is going to melt down far enough. I really don't think it will, but it'll cover any exposed wires or ends that. Okay, I'm in the process of getting all these shrink wrap tubes on. I've got 3 of them done, 2 to go. It's just my butt connector inside is a little bit larger, and these are just not fitting as good as I wanted them to on this wire. It just won't melt. It's melting down, but just not as much. It's not melting down tight. So that's okay. Ow. Because I will, if this shrink wrap doesn't, this heat shrink heat tube doesn't fit over all this, I will just wrap it really good with electrical tape. Okay. Need a blue shrink tube, heat shrink tube. Goes on, okay, looks like I'm doing white. Okay, goes on, drops down the white one. Hold it there. Get my butt connector. Push it in. Okay, I'm doing white. Make sure you got the right color going together. You're going to be trying to figure out what the world, what's wrong now. Crimp them together. Crush it tight as possible. Crush the other one as tight. Uh-oh, didn't get that crushed. It came out. Let me put it back in. This one's a little bit bigger than. Oh, yeah. I forgot. I only had I think 3 red ones, 2 blue ones. The blue butt connectors are a little bit bigger. But that's all I had at the time. I didn't want to go get more. Figured I'd make them work. So I had to put the red heat shrink tube on it because the blue one wouldn't fit over this blue connector. So this goes in. I'm going to have to crush it down a little better because I didn't get it crushed all the way that first round. I'll put it on, then I'll put the other one on. Okay. Nice and tight. Huh? Yeah. Okay. And then this one goes in. Hopefully I can get it nice and tight and it doesn't fall out. I don't know what the white wire controls on this zoomer. I know it's probably important and it'll have to be hooked up. Just make sure we have that crushed in there nicely, nice and tight. That looks like I've crushed it like a pancake, so that looks tight enough. No wires are coming out. Slide this heat shrink tube right over that, and it's probably not going to shrink down far enough because this wire is so small, and I just wanted extra on those butt connectors. I probably didn't even have to put these on, but I just like putting these on for security. I just think it might help it somewhat, a little better protect it. So if it gets pinched again, maybe it'll pinch this rubber on the heat shrink tube and not the wire itself. So I don't know. We'll see. I've got to figure something out how to put it against the side of this chair so it doesn't get pinched ever again. So hopefully we won't have to do this again. But like I said earlier, I have fixed the electric reclining chairs and the electric lift chairs. It's the same thing happens. You think your chair's torn up or the motor went out, and if you inspect it really good, you'll probably just see a pinched wire, a broken wire, where it got caught in something that was moving and it just cut a little hole in the wire, cut a little hole in it, and made it have a disconnect. And it's actually a simple fix. It looks like it's not a simple fix with me doing this, but it's a simple fix. Not too difficult to do. It's just I'm out here on the porch and it's super hot today. It's hot out here. No breeze blowing. Oops, I almost forgot. Put your shrink wrap, your heat wrap on first, and then your butt connector. Because there's no way to get that heat shrink tube on once you clamp your butt connector on, or you'll be having to cut your wire again and making another splice in it somewhere. You don't want to do that. That's just another spot where it could potentially not have a connection and mess up again. Okay, got that one. Let's get this one. Clamp it tight. Squeeze it tight. Okay. Okay, let me try again right here a little more. Okay. And then do a test pull. Make sure it's nice and snug. It is. Put the heat shrink wrap on it. We'll heat it up and melt it down. Let it shrink down a little bit. Well, if I can run the slider, we're going to melt it down a little bit. Roll it over if we can without burning ourselves, because that heat shrink is pretty hot. It's pretty hot, and I don't want to melt my wire, but I want this to melt good enough to hold on tight. So it's not the best. I really don't like it because it don't shrink down far enough on my wire. But hey, that's what we got. That's what I'm working with today. So, ow, that was hot. Okay, so this is our deal here. This is all of our wires, okay? Got them all hooked up. The only thing that's not hooked up, I guess I can roll this back down a little bit. The only thing I don't have hooked up is this coating that was going around there. I think it'll be okay without it being connected, but I might roll it up and let it, I might see if I can bring it together, and I'm hoping this shrink wrap will fit, and it's going to be long enough, and I'm hoping I can get enough of this pulled down that I can get this to touch, because it might be. Okay, I'm back. I had run out of storage on my phone during that last recording, and I'm trying to get the broken wire fixed on the electric wheelchair. And so this is what I done. Let me show you. I finished it up. It works perfect. Here it is right here. It works perfect. I can turn it on right there. It's working perfectly fine. I put the Velcro wrap back on right here, but I moved it up. It was down here. Maybe that was the problem. It was getting caught. So I moved the Velcro wrap up here to hold this up here, and then I put a wire tie down here to hold it. And this was all my connections that I did right here. I put it all together. It looks a little fat right there, but you know what, it's all connected. It's all good. It's not going to pull loose. I've got it attached up here. I've got it attached down here. It's connected really good right here. Everything is working. Just if you have one of these chairs, maybe move your Velcro up here to the top instead of having it down here, because it might slide underneath there when you fold it up. So that was the problem on this chair. Works perfectly fine now. Like and subscribe.